so that you get, just a lot of damage out there. So that's pretty cool. So the other melee power they changed is the Grand Slam, and the cool thing about Grand Slam is you can now hold your mouse button or your keyboard. It keeps doing damage, as you can see here, and then you can release it for another burst of damage. So it is like two abilities in one, and I really like that. So if I AoE, I just put on your Raging Cajun, put on some AoE, and just stand in there and use your bow beatdown and look at the numbers. It's just, that's a lot of DPS right there. It's very spirit heavy, but that's not much of a problem. Your normal attack of Gambit now gives back it gives spirit back. So if you're spirit starved, you just get your spirit back by attacking. So that's basically the changes to the melee build. They changed the passive a little bit as well. You get just one passive you have to pick. You get up to, well, minus rank 36. It gives 1182 melee power. It's pretty huge. And the health regen on hit. The health regen on hit was not on a cooldown, so it was a really big health chunk. It was over like just 400 health per melee hit, but they added an internal cooldown, otherwise it was just too powerful. It also increased your health and your defense, so if you want to play in melee, as I did, you only need this passive, really. The other big thing that changed is the bow vault, and I will show you like this. As you can see, you leap in, and you had this you had the skill before, but now it gives the vulnerability as well. So it gives the 10% vulnerability debuff on enemies. So basically, you wanna use it as an opener at all times. So you jump in, and they all get vulnerability, and that's how you should start. Even on a range build, you still want to use bow vault. And that's an awesome ability. It looks really cool. The animation is really well done, so that's definitely an improvement. If you go to your F2, or I have it on my F2 key, but another thing that they changed is the good times roll. So just the roll, it now gives 12% attack and movement speed for 4 seconds. So that's a great way to move around. You get the slight burst of power of speed. And you can be really mobile. You just roll in, use your bow vault, and start wrecking chaos. It's really cool right now. They kind of changed the Raging Cajun as well, so that you don't get that much benefit anymore. A little bit less the benefit. They put the defensive status on other passives, but it's still, I'm sorry, a burp. It's still a great burst thing to use. So you want to get a lot of points in there as well. It's a great ability. So the other thing that it changed is cheat death. It changed a lot. Cheat death is now has a passive effect that if you die, you get resurrected every 9 minutes. It's on a 9-minute cooldown, and you even explode. When you come to life, you explode again, giving another shockwave. And the same skill is now also used as a crowd control immunity duration to break free from crowd controls. So it's one button now. It's only one point is more than enough. So that's a great change, I think, as well. I cannot really go into the range tree much. I haven't really tested it yet. I just leveled him as a melee. One thing that they changed, for example, is Ace of Spades. Though it now has an initial hit. You throw the card, it explodes. But now it has an initial hit, and then another stun and explode. So it does 2 times the damage almost, and it's a really great ability. I play purely melee. I know a lot of people have been playing hybrid as well, instead of just fully ranged. Hybrid works. You just pick, for example, Ace of Spades instead of your Grand Slam, and you can play him perfectly ranged. You don't really need the range passive. You could for more damage, but it's perfectly fine to switch between them, and you're still going to be very viable. So that's just really good. Then the last change I'm going to go over is the 52 pickup, which I'm going to show. It's a great animation. Basically, you throw your stick in the air. You start to throw 52 cards, and then you pick up your stick again. It looks pretty much like this. There we go, and he picks up the stick and then it explodes again. It's just so cool. They might they get some feedback that um, you might have, you cannot interrupt, you cannot move right now, so that they changed that. On the other hand, it's such a powerful ability, I'm not sure if that's a good thing, so they're probably going to test that, and we might see that change later on. So that's pretty much the gambit, I guess. So I'm going back to the studio, which is the wrong studio. I'm sorry. I should remove that one. All right, this is the new studio, and so they did. That was most of the 2.32 patch. So I want to talk a little bit about the 2.33 patch that just hit today, like a few hours ago. And they changed a lot of bugs again. They did some optimization. The game should feel even more responsive right now. So if anyone has any issues there, or notices a difference, please go to their forums and give them some feedback. They did some changes to Gambit, which I just covered a little bit, I think, but just a few tweaks. But the biggest thing this weekend is the and I have to look up. It's the St. Patrick's Day. They have another name for that. It's like the lucky something. I don't really know the name, but it's a lucky weekend because of St. Patrick's Day. And what you get, it's pretty cool. You get an event legendary. Wait, what? Yes, an event legendary. If you go to if you log in right now, you get every day you get a rainbow, and if you get 3 rainbows, you could go to the crafter, and at the misc tab of your crafter, there is now a crafting recipe, and if you donate 3 rainbows, they can also drop, but you can also just get them by logging in, and you get 1 every day. The 3 items you will get, you will craft a legendary item. This legendary item will give you at start 10% XP at rank 1, so you get plus 10% XP bonus on top of all the other bonuses that you can get. You get a 10% rarity find, then a 10% special item find, and then at rank 4 you get plus 10 credits per credit drop. And at rank 5 you get you spawn a chest on a 20-hour cooldown, so you have a 1% chance on hit, so you will get one pretty soon, to spawn another chest with loot in there. So there is some really good Havoc or Banshee reference there as well. So because Banshee is obviously Irish, I think he is. So that's a great item to get. You can only get it this weekend, so don't miss out, I would say. I would definitely want one, and as far as I know, you can get more than one, so that's pretty cool. So this weekend is the St. Patrick's Day weekend, and next week, if we talk about the future of Malesurs, next week or the week after, they're going to do some UI changes, and they're going to get ready for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange will be on the test servers about 1 week from now. That's the latest news. So that's going to be awesome. And I'm already been here for 30 minutes, so I think it's about time for the newbie corner, because in here, being a new player is awesome. It's the best thing that can happen to you. And so I'm going to go to the... I'm sorry. I have to get used to this new studio, but it will definitely be better next time. There we go, the newbie corner. And this time I want to talk about the user interface. This week our Mythic helped me making a great interface. He made, I will show you later as well, but I want to talk a little bit about the user interface. So, and let me set something up. So I will go to the game and just a clear game, so no interface, no shenanigans, just the game as you will see it. The resolution might be a little different, but this is just the interface. So what do you have on your screen? On your left hand, if you get to a party, you will get on your left side, you will get a party screen. So you will see the other players, and you could right click teleport there, you could even leave the group, you could kick someone out of the group. That is what you get on your left side. Then here you have the chat. You can, if you press this, you can make it bigger. You can press it. You can press it big and that it's pinned. You could press it again so that it's closed. You can open it again, and the chat, you're gonna be able to talk and talk to other players and ask some help. What not everyone knows maybe is that you see here this icon. It's like a settings icon. If you can click that, you could turn on They're 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 in default they're not turned off. Some of them are turned off. You can turn on the trade, team, and looking for group chats as well. So you press that button, and then you press on looking for group social. And what you can do then is you could. Toshi says hi, guys. If you type in social and then enter, you get the social chat UK. You can type, "Hi, I am a new player. I love this game," and people will react to you, right? They will say maybe stupid stuff, but also cool stuff. You could go to type /LFG and you go into the looking for group channel and you say, "I want. Can anyone help me? Help me with X." You know, you could just how to type, but looking for group channel is used for that, and I think it's off on default. Yeah, the team chat is used for when you get into the battlefield. If you go for a PvP match, you could talk to your team. And trade, you can, if you find an item and you can ask to trade, ask if it's good. You can trade some items if you find some stuff. So then you have the party chat. If you're in a party, you can talk with only your party. And you have the supergroup chat. That's the equivalent of the guild you might know from other games. And if you get invited to a guild or you create your own guild, you can use that command to you can use that chat. And the chat is like /G and then you type hello guild, stuff like that. So that's pretty basic, but this button is pretty important because you can turn stuff off here. What I have done is I've turned off these I turned off this stuff in my tab, and you could make, as you can see on top of here, that's also new, you could make a tab for, especially for looking for group, another tab for supergroup, and you could just click here and make a new chat as well. So you could itemize, you could edit that a little bit, just how much you want. Maybe there's too much spam going on, so if you don't like the social chat, just turn it off. That's how this works, right? Cool. Then on the left hand you have the menu. Here you have the options. I talked a little bit about that earlier. You could go to your options and set all your settings correctly. I'm not going to go into too much detail there, but there's where you can find the options. You could find the store here as well. You could find your help guide here, which is actually really good. Not everyone might have looked this up, but for example, you could see all your emotes here. As you can see, you get all your other commands here. You could see, your /ping. There is actually FPS you could see here as well. So there is a lot of attacks that you might not have been aware of. For example, you can let your character talk with pressing your num key stuff buttons. Mission minimap. It says everything you need to know. So if you're new to the game and you don't really feel comfortable, I would suggest just to go through this, and you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a lot of your frequently asked questions. Endgame PvE. You got this PvP tab and tutorial even. With a lot of tips in there, so I would definitely suggest. When I was going through here, there was even a glossary with all the words that you might hear in the game. You're like, what is that? You can find them here. So this is a great place. I think it's overlooked by some. So that's the help on. Oh, and I press quit, and then you quit the game, right? That's how it works. I thought I quit the menu, but no, you quit the game. So I have to relog. Alright, and there we go. So here we have your missions. This is your mission log. Here you can see on what part of the story you are. You could also see here if you got the reward for that story. For example, here you see it's a little trophy. If it's yellow, you got the if it's yellow, you've got the reward. So for example, if I can show that, a little lost jungle lord. I wanted to go there to get me the artifact, and I have that done. The other things, for example, didn't have the reward for yet. So you can just fill it up. On my Spider-Man, I've done all of this, of course. So that's a mission log. You can also see your legendary quests here. From level 20, you get a legendary quest. I would suggest doing them if you level. And if I just scroll down here, you can re-roll the quest as well. If you have some money and you think the quest is too hard, or you're going to have to fight all the way through Doom and you don't really want to do that, you can press reroll and it costs amount of credit. a certain amount of credits. So if you have some credits laying around, which you can pretty easily get, you can reroll a few times until you have a quest that you're gonna do.